Dolly Sods on Labor Day weekend. So my last trip in Dolly Sods was 6 years ago. It's good to be back. The plan is to do about a 10-mile hike today, and then a 10-mile hike back out tomorrow. A loop hike. It's pretty windy up here, but it feels good. Very nice out here. I'm glad I made this trip. And the adventure's just starting. What a nice view from up here. So we hike on the Raven Ridge. We're doing the outer loop, at least up to a certain point. Some dark clouds. The weather forecast said it's not supposed to rain at all. So I brought the zero rain gear, so we'll see. So I'm using the Windy Apps map. That makes hiking in places like this so much easier. You're not getting lost. I talked to a hiker, he stayed overnight, backpacker. And he said he got lost and hiked an extra 3 miles. I don't want that to happen to me. Okay. We made it to the first turn, kind of. At least when you look on the map, this is the first turn to the left or south. This is just so pretty. Can't stop filming. So I just saw a snake number 2. Now the first one I saw was green. It's a small green snake. I have to look up what that could have been. It's pretty interesting. So it looks like we're exiting the rocky part. The rocky part was slowing me down quite a bit because you have to watch your footing. So I kind of welcome this trail. The terrain has changed quite a bit. Heading southbound. Still on the 524 trail, dropping elevation, and the scenery is changing. Big stone coal. Getting closer to where I pictured I would camp. I wonder why it said this is no bike trail, or no bikes allowed. Jeez. For the past 3 hours, I was exposed to the sun pretty much all the time, so this shade feels pretty nice. This trail kind of sucks. This seems to be turning into kind of like a meadow. This trail section started out really bad, but actually it turned into something really beautiful. So this is camp for tonight. With some artwork. My sand beach over there. Meadow. And another bigger sand beach. This is luxury. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's really good. So we're getting water for the Sawyer squeeze, water filter. That's 64 ounces, that should be plenty. So I suspended the Sawyer squeeze and I'll just let it drip into my pot. That's the easy way. Effortless. Next task is going to be making a fire. And there's enough firewood for me. My food bag, bear bag's already hung up on the tree. So it appears this Sawyer squeeze is leaking from here. And then I unscrewed it and the rubber seal is actually now stuck inside here. So I attached a smaller bag, it's a brand new one, never used. And I don't see any leaking so far. So that's good. So you can tell this one here is spring water that I brought from home. And this is filtered water from Dolly Sods. It still has a brownish tint to it. Collected some firewood. It's not much, but I don't feel like cutting tree limbs off like other people do. So now I'm going to prep my meal. So my choices are beef stroganoff and lasagna. So I'm picking lasagna because that one expires in 7 years. The beef stroganoff is good for another 26 years. So I have a pretty cheap pocket stove. We'll add some of this good looking water here. Need about 3/4 of a cup. I already have some water in here, I'm just adding to it. So we got this to a really nice hot boil. I'll probably have to eat another meal after this. I don't think this is enough for me today. We have the fire going and I made myself another meal. Also because I need that cup in the morning to make oatmeal. Good morning, it's about 6:30. And I wanted to go real quick over the trail we did yesterday and what we'll be doing today. So we parked at Bear Rocks Trailhead, took the outer loop, this is where all these cool rock formations were and great views. Then this is where the muddy trail started, and then it got temporarily really rocky, and then it turned into a beautiful trail, and we are camping right here. Today we're hiking this way back out, and from here I haven't decided if I'll go trail 526, which is supposed to be really muddy, if I take a detour.
so it's gonna be one of the two. Yesterday's trail was about 10.3 miles, and today it's probably gonna be around 10 again. So
Oatmeal for breakfast. A nice golden water. And the water is boiling. The grass is wet. It's about 8:30. Nice morning. A lot of white foam in the water. That's my drinking water. Unless I find something better. So this trail follows the creek for a while. It's pretty nice. So we are taking Rocky Point Trail number 554. It's a rocky trail for the most part, but it's not always like this bad. You can see ahead. It's getting much better as it changes back and forth. A lot of big boulders to my left. Wonder who does the trail maintenance here. May have picked a different route if I had known this trail is this rocky. Trail intersection. We came from this direction. This takes you to the Red Creek, which is pretty loud. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but we are going up this trail. There will be a little bit elevation gain, but it shouldn't be too much before we drop off again, and then that will take us down to the Red Creek eventually. Red Creek. So this trail is nothing like I imagined it. It's slowing me down quite a bit. So I'm looking forward to get to the meadows. Whew. That was an ass kicker. I don't have the energy today like I did yesterday. So for the trails like this, that's perfect. This is easy hiking on a meadow. Only downside is you get beaten by the sun. So we're taking Upper Red Creek Trail, number 509. Lots of flowers. I've decided to go with the Dobbin Great Trail. It's going to be muddy, it's shorter, and it will be a little bit of a challenge. Just sort of grunt and a sneeze. Well, it is pretty muddy. But I wanted a challenge. So here we go. Darn it. Stuck. Where do I go? Nope. Alright, I'll turn the camera off and figure this out. Oh, that's a first. Ah, crap. Alright, I think I'll make a big loop around it, if that's any better. I think I have the worst behind me. It was pretty bad, but it's doable. At least on the way out, you can take the risk. If you're just starting your hike, I wouldn't do it. I spoke too soon. There's so many more crossings like this and worse. So your hike... So your hike time is not necessarily shorter going this way because it takes longer to cross. Good. Okay, we'll jump over here. Oh, this is what happens. At least this video is giving you an idea what to expect from this trail section. I see some day hikers ahead of me, so they must have turned around just when it gets muddy. So I think I'm done with the mud mess. I strongly do not recommend this trail. Maybe in the dry season. So we take Dobbin Great Trail out to the left. I'm just enjoying the shade here a little bit. I'm craving the clean water that I have in my car. The filter water here just doesn't taste as good as it just tastes strange. It's more acidic. Last half mile or so of the trail. It wasn't really that bad to hike here on Labor Day weekend. It was pretty quiet where I camped last night. Actually, it was too quiet. The nature didn't make a peep. It was a good hike. One thing to keep in mind is the trail section I did yesterday was mostly downhill, and I did those 10 miles in about four hours. Today I started hiking at 8:30 and now it's 1:46. It's pretty bad. And we about made it. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty beat. A lot less cars parked here today. About 100 yards to my car. In a big 2-liter bottle of water.